YouTube, pedal people, nerd people on YouTube that watch me with guitars and stuff, do things on pedals. We're looking at pedal number 5 of the first batch of Ironman pedals. I'm getting a lot of questions. Where can you get these? Well, they're brand new. They're shipping to distributors and they're shipping to people that sell them to you. So, stop asking, just wait a bit and keep looking. That's all I can say. I'm not a distributor. I don't know where to get them. I get them from Joyo. So, I don't know. Find them, buy them. This is the Pipebomb this time, which I personally think is not the most subtle of names. There might be countries where this is kind of bad because it kills, people. But, hey, that's what it's called. So, just to reiterate, the Ironman pedals are very small. Usually I show you the Pipebomb, but I can't. Very nice packaging, very, very neat, everything nice, and they actually include, just in case you haven't seen this 5 times, they actually include the rubber base from 3M, so you can actually stick that to the bottom of the pedal, and also the Velcro, so everything you need to immediately start putting this on the floor, on the table, or on your pedal board. I just think the whole presentation of this puppy is very high-end, very luxurious, serial numbered. This time the Chinese surprised with high-end presentation. So, Pipebomb is a compressor. I have done a couple of videos where I show you what a compressor does. If you really want to know exactly what a compressor does, please consult the dynamic compressor video, or even better, where I go into it in detail, the more yellow comp, also very nice compressor, video, where you really actually see the waveforms and how they're being affected. So go to that one. Today we're looking at the Pipebomb, and I'm not explaining what a compressor does. It compresses. Well, it squishes your sound so that you have less dynamics, less, peaks and valleys. Primarily for clean sounds, a good idea. And it then raises the whole level. It's also nice to give you more sustain because you squish the level and then raise it up, so it actually sounds like your notes will be longer. I'm doing all this and it doesn't mean anything. So we actually looked in the last video at the Blue Rain, and I mentioned that it doesn't really have a lot of compression, so we're going to use the Pipebomb with the Blue Rain to give it more singing sustain. So we're going to look at that in a second. The controls are mix, which is nice. It's actually called parallel compression, so you can actually pick how much compressed signal is mixed with your guitar. So in parallel, dry signal and compressed signal. Then there's an attack knob, which is also nice, which determines how much of your spank original attack gets left in the signal. There's the comp, which is also called the threshold on other compressors, and then the level, of course. You compress it and then you want to get the level back up. This compressor is, I'm going to call it very subtle. It doesn't have its own sound. Like with the yellow comp, for example, you turn it on and immediately it has, it changes the sound. It adds high end if you wanted to. So the yellow comp changes the sound. Also the Dynacomp from MXR, for example, it since it doesn't have an attack knob, it makes things very rounded off. So I don't think this puts too much of its own stamp on your sound, but it compresses. So it's a very transparent compressor, I would call it, which is nice. For clean sounds, put it on your pedal board. You don't want to change your sound too much, but you want the notes to stand there and just sing. With this one, you can actually get a beautiful singing clean sound. Talking about that, let's look at the setup. Today, brand new, my baby blue, this is really not happening together, is it? My baby blue, brand new body is today LSL Satikoi Telecaster? No, what is that? What do we call this? This is a Strat. So, they're calling it the Satikoi, which apparently I think is the street that they were on, but now they moved or something like that. Boutique Strat, it doesn't really get an awful lot better than that. I have to admit, I played a Fender custom shop Strat, was really beat up, that cost €1,000 more than this, and they were about equal. I played one that cost as much as this one, and Fender really couldn't do it. So thank you to Ludwig Klingelhofer from LKG Guitars for, hooking me up with this great instrument. I'm gonna be bleeding for a couple of months, but okay. And a great store. So actually the premier store for high-end custom shop instruments. He has a lot of Fender there, and Music Man, and PRS, and all the high-end stuff. But he's probably the one shop where you can check 10 of these babies against each other and actually find your favorite one. What I found out that all the static coils, even with exactly the same specs, the necks are different. They have more output, less output, more high-end, rounder. They all sound different. So go to Ludwig. He's going to spend time with you, and he's going to figure out which one is yours. Ludwig Klingelhofer, LKG Guitars in Gladenbach, Germany, next to Gießen somewhere. So smack in the middle of Germany. So you drive the exact amount of time no matter where you come from. So we're going to look at the Pipebomb. Setup is LSL Sadikoy. Going into the Pipebomb. Going into the Blue Rain Overdrive. Going into a Carl Martin Headroom. If you haven't seen the Headroom video, please check it out. This puppy is huge. It's also featured in my PXL Pro video in the PXL series. And I'm going to show this to you. That's what it is. I got to be careful with it because the springs are loose right now. Can you hear that? So they're rattling. So that's an actual spring reverb, which is what you want with a nice, clean sound and a, Strat. So, there we go. Without it, we have... That's what we have. That is going into the Shure Badger 18, which is going into the Shure 112 cab, which is loaded with a warehouse speaker. It's a Veteran 30, 8 ohm, which is mic'd with two microphones right there, an SM57 and an inexpensive T-Bone RB700 or something like that. It's a ribbon mic, both going into the Universal Audio 4710D preamp set to solid state, and it's getting mixed together somewhere. Okay, so this is our clean sound in front position here with the Sadikoy. Let's hit it where it's right now. Sounds as if it's getting a little bit more high-endish. No idea if that is because I'm driving the amp more, if it's because of the pedal. You decide. It gets spankier because the attack is all the way up to the top. Let's, when I'm using a compressor, as you can see, I like my compressor knob to be pretty much all the way up. I mean, I want to hear the compression. Demo compressor is always tough because you feel it more than you hear it. So, feel it with me. Feel the compression, baby. So we're gonna mix it all the way in. Of course, I'm raising up the level, so I'm getting more, noise now because I have single coils. Not in between. Well, yes, you can clearly hear the attack sound. Okay, let's see what the mix knob does. I personally think all the way in because, again, I want to hear the compression. Now you can, of course, subtly add a little bit more roundness and fatness to your sound with this compressor. Personally, I like it cranked. As you can hear, it's very transparent, so it doesn't add too much or subtract anything. It's a Brand Mason lick. He plays it, of course, a lot faster and cooler, but way cool, you know, with a bending up to the A major, and then A7, and again A major. Also, the track you heard at the beginning is, I made the backing track myself and all this, but it's based on a really, really cool lesson you can find on Papa Stash's channel. You know Papa Stash, you know, guy with lots of hand movement. And he had Tim Pierce on, and Tim Pierce explained how to improvise over changing chords, or chords that are, you know, foreign to the key that you're in, and that's way cool. So check out Papa Stash's channel with that Tim Pierce soloing lesson. Which I kind of, you know, ripped off. So, let's try this puppy with some reverb. Hear the ploppiness with the compressor in. I'm in heaven. Beautiful spring reverb. Can't say beautiful spring reverb, courtesy of Carl Martin Headroom, and beautiful compression. Just that's subtle but makes everything shine. And that's my favorite position, in the back middle position. So let's add some drive to that. Actually, in this position, rolling it back a little bit. If I could play, it would be nice. Let's do that without the compression first. So So the Blue Rain is usually overdrives and distortion compress a lot themselves. The Blue Rain is kind of the opposite. It feels as if there's no compression whatsoever. It kind of feels like you clean sound just as a drive, which has its benefits. But if you want to, sing and play soaring leads, you want those notes to stay there. So I think the Blue Rain in combination with the Pipebomb is a great buy. That's kind of the 5/8 version of something. Blues in, not good. So, there you go. Is this pedal noisy, you're going to ask? Obviously, raising the volume of anything, especially with single coils, is going to get noisier. If you pump more level into it, these pickups are very low output. It's going to, of course, compress harder. So you figure all that stuff out. I think that's all you need to know from me about the Pipebomb from Joyo, the Ironman series. Go get it, it's really cool. It also has like the lid thing, which will look like this. And case closed.